All right, Shalom, Yasharala, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh. Bahasham Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rachak, Wadaj, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Whomever you may be and wherever you may be, Shalom, Yasharala, Shalom. All right, so we're just going to get into another various articles. I was watching, as a matter of fact, you see right there, that's about as far as I got in this video. So let me drag it back. Okay, and it's not too heavy of a topic. Just, as usual, there's always, interesting things that come up in these little, I don't know, you call them podcasts or whatever you want to call them, but in these different videos here. All right, so we're just going to hit play and check them out. Let's see. Let's see if I can play.
According to the global elites, US presidents are selected, not elected, with the game rigged to ensure their chosen candidate can continue destroying America from the inside.
And right off the bat, right off the jump, off the gate, okay, that's what the apostles have been telling you for a long time, right? All this stuff that goes on a world stage is all fabricated from behind the scenes, okay? So, in this election, and I think we mentioned it the other day, as a matter of fact, yesterday at camp, okay, for those that saw the video, which I got cut off. I may go into those scriptures, see if I can pull up that camp video somewhere, because there was actually, because on my camera, it showed that I was recording up to like hour 8, maybe 10 minutes, but the actual recording stopped at an hour and 2 minutes. And so that between that 2 and the 8 minute mark, there was actually a lot that, brought everything that we talked about full circle, because we were just rolling in the spirit, but it brought everything full circle. So maybe we'll pull those scriptures back up. Not now, I'm saying a little separate lesson, but yeah, it was actually a beautiful camp yesterday. But there was this one older, Judite lady, all right, that came who, she kind of rolled her eyes when I talk about, God doesn't love everybody, okay? And that's that church bull. Okay, if you want to believe that, believe that. And like she said, well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Well, we don't care what your opinion are. We don't care what our opinions are. We don't have an opinion. Our opinion is what the scriptures say. And that's the problem with our people, okay? Stockholm syndrome, okay? They want to love everybody, right? You get your ass beat for centuries, but I just love them because Jesus told me so, all right? Nah, man. The scriptures talk about recompense. It's a righteous thing to recompense those that trouble you. The scriptures talk about you having enemies, okay? So she kind of rolled her eyes, and that's why she kept inching and inching more to the side off the camera, okay? and and she's really what or the Lord used her to come, and it kind of sparked my spirit, because we were just kind of rolling at first, and then when she said what she said, she just kind of got caught in the crossfire. All right, but that is what it is, man. If you come against this gospel, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how you feel. If it's not the truth, it's not the truth. We're going to tell you that it ain't the truth, and we're going to tell you what the truth is according to the scriptures, not our feelings, not our thoughts, not according to our emotions. We're going to tell you what the scriptures say, and if you don't like it, like we said the last time, you go and you grab your hammer, you fly, you go talk to him. You know what I'm referencing, though. But yeah, man, she rolled her eyes and, well, you're entitled to your opinion. You're absolutely right. It doesn't make your opinion true. And I actually quoted that scripture where it says that there's no private interpretation of the scriptures. Okay. But yeah, man, this stuff here, a lot of these things have been talked about, beginning with the apostles. It's nothing new. The problem is, the average Israelite doesn't want to believe. They don't want to hear what the truth is. They're not paying attention. Like when the Israelites, especially Judah, they hear about something, they're always the last, all right? Okay, they're always the last. The Edomites are usually some of the first people. They hear about certain things going on. They're paying attention to these certain things, that are going on in the world or just in America alone. And it's always the Israelites that are last, and the Israelites that are non-believing. And it's always the Israelites, mostly, that want to save everybody. And I mentioned that before. A lot of our people are going to die in these churches, sitting amongst these heathens, falling behind Jesus, talking about God loves everybody. We can all come together and all this kind of nonsense. And you're sitting there with heathens, okay? And they're gonna cause you to be destroyed because you're falling behind them with the love doctrine from a false god and idol, right? and everybody, it's facts, okay? You say what you want to say, but the facts is the facts. You want to research it? Go look it up for yourself. The letter J didn't exist until 1524. It was created by a man named Gian Tracino. So if the Lord was walking the earth before the letter J existed, how you get the name Jesus? Can't nobody explain that, man. You see, can't nobody explain that. Because the original language in the earth was a Paleo-Hebrew, okay? And that's also a fact, all right? So it goes back to that. So you want to get the true names, you got to go to the Paleo-Hebrew, okay? Nobody wants to deal with that. How you doing, all right? Because we're so conditioned with the images that we've been given. But when you go in the Bible, it describes a dark-skinned man with white woolly hair and a beard. How can you explain that? See? Nobody can explain that. Because we're conditioned to believe what we've been told. All right, what mostly comes through, the plantation Christianity and all that. All right, these churches today are not like the churches back then in the ancient times, according to the Bible, man. What they teach is opposite of what the Bible teaches. When they tell you God loves everybody, you can go into the Bible 1,000 times, you'll never find it. They tell you about a prosperity doctrine, go in the Bible, you'll never find it. They tell you that a rapture's coming, go in the Bible, you'll never find it. God loves everybody, salvation is for everybody, go in the Bible, you'll never find it. But how many people actually take the time to research and read to find these things? But, you wave out some Jay-Z or some Beyonce concert tickets, and they're going to be there. First ones in line, right? Especially Judah, the so-called Negroes, right? They're going to be first in line, okay? We're about to talk about some folly. They're going to be first in line, man. But tell them to read a book, forget about it. Like, guys, forget about it, okay? Well, let me play some more of this video because I know I was just kind of rambling there, man. You know how it is.
But the elite face one major problem. People around the world are waking up, exposing their crimes and deceptions like never before. With bombshell revelations proving Kamala Harris's life story is a CIA fabrication, and Barack Obama's manufactured history unraveling, it's time to ask some serious questions. Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community. Orson Welles knew the truth as far back as the 60s. All politicians are actors, carefully selected by the CIA to play their roles on the world stage.
Yeah, we know that. There's actually been actors who are presidents, okay? Or actor or whatever, one or two. We could care less, all right? Ain't nobody voting, okay? We trying to get the hell out of Babylon. We ain't trying to vote for nobody.
I don't think politicians are natural crooks. Not all of them. No, I don't think most of them are. I think they are actors. And actors are neither men nor women. Actors belong to a third sex. Actors are actors. And one aspect of it is the political game.
America in 2024 might not be ready for the revelations about the real Kamala Harris, but the director of Citizen Kane wouldn't have been surprised. Kamala is an actor groomed for the role by the CIA and given a convenient backstory that...
And that's all come out. Yeah, she's phony. Trump is phony. They're all phony. Doesn't matter if you're red or blue. It's all phony. Okay? It's all a laugh in the American people's face. Your votes don't matter, man. It's like, when are the people going to wake up? Your votes don't matter. The banking families decide who's going to be president behind closed doors. They manipulate situations to make sure that happens, man. Your votes don't matter, but you got people in America running around talking about voting, man. Who cares? It doesn't matter, okay? Why don't you try not voting and see what happens? I guarantee you, whoever they plan to be president is still going to be president, man, okay? But this information about Kamala has already come out. Barack Obama has been out there before, okay? And I think that's what he was going into.
Bears no relation to reality. It's official. Kamala used a picture of a black Jamaican woman that was not her grandmother in her autobiography. A Jamaican woman who knew Kamala has confirmed that her real grandmother, Beryl, was Irish and fair-skinned, and not the black woman Kamala Harris put in her book to claim black ancestry.
And Miss Beryl, by the way, I see Vice President Harris on the box. And I sit up straight and I think, my God, she looks so much like Miss Beryl. Her facial features, the only thing is Miss Beryl was much smaller in stature, but...
Well, okay, if Miss Beryl, because Kamala is very fair-skinned.
Right.
Was Beryl fair-skinned?
Yes, she was.
She was?
She was. She was fair-skinned.
She was? Okay.
Yes, she was very fair-skinned.
Oh.
With black hair.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So she was so fair-skinned that now that I'm older and I can spot people by their skin coloring, etc., for me, I would say there was something Irish there.
How interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say somewhere along the line she would have had ancestors that were Irish. Yes.
Actually, can I show you a photograph
Of course.
of an old lady?
Yes.
And some people speculate that this is Miss Burial.
Right.
So, sorry, bear
That's
with me.
okay.
I am so untechnological.
Okay.
It's just pathetic.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh.
Okay. Nah, that's not Miss Beryl.
That's not Miss
That's
Burial.
definitely not Miss Beryl.
Oh.
That's not Miss Beryl.
So,
Now I also remember that I forget her name right there on the left. That video she did, okay, sit down, talking about, that's where she pulled out the book and everything. But regardless, even if that's facts, one thing scripturally, it really doesn't matter who your mother was, all right? Your nationality is determined by the seed of your father. That's what determines your nationality. It tells you that in Numbers chapter 1, all right? Your nationality is determined by the seed of your father. If your father was an Israelite, all right, and continuing down in that line, that means you're an Israelite. And if your father was a heathen and continuing down in that line, then you're a heathen, which are the 17 heathen nations, all right? So regardless of what her grandmother was or wasn't, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But what her father was does matter, okay?
no, I believe she has to just show you.
Yeah.
So,
That is not Miss Beryl.
That's not Miss Beryl.
Definitely not Miss Beryl.
okay.
And I know what she looks like. I couldn't have been in a dream, and she definitely did not look like that.
There's another person, but could that be Miss Burial?
No, that's not
That's
Miss
not Miss
Beryl.
Beryl
That's not
either.
Miss Beryl either.
Okay.
Don't know who that is.
Okay.
That's not Miss Beryl. That ain't Miss Beryl. You know, as you were describing the fair skin and looking like Kamala, I was thinking this can't be the Miss Beryl grandma that's in Kamala's book. And clearly you see Lady C's going, wait, fair skin? What? Maybe is this? Nope, that's not Miss Beryl. I didn't dream. That's not Miss Beryl. Yeah, that sounds about right. You're saying Irish, and that's funny because Judge Joe Brown had a very distinct memory that Donald Harris told him that he was Irish and Hindu, and
I think I remember playing a clip like that. It was on my last channel I had. I forget what the name of that little show was or whatever. He was sitting down being interviewed, and he was bringing out what seems to be some, you know, so-called facts. All right, about Kamala. Okay, knowing her before her, you know, vice presidential days and so on and so forth. But all these people are, you know, these people are just jokesters, man. They're just pawns, okay, and puppets. And matter of fact, I'll let this play real quick before I say it.
things are starting to add up, not in Kamala Harris's favor, and I don't know what to say here, ladies and gentlemen, other than I am truly, untypically speechless. I don't think I possess within me the adequate vocabulary to discuss my distaste for a woman who borrowed a black person for her autobiography so that she could secure the black vote. Do you understand how fundamentally racist that is? Do you understand how despicable that is? I mean, you have to be the worst kind of political vermin to borrow a black person to put in your book to present to the public as your grandma, who definitively was not your white Irish grandma. Okay, I don't have the word. I need someone to throw me a thesaurus so I can find it. I need to expand my vocabulary to be able to legitimately express my disgust for Kamala Harris and my now general disgust for any person who supports this woman or from here on out purports that she is the first black anything, okay? She is beyond despicable.
Owen's latest bombshell discovery came as she began digging into Kamala's family history, following comments about Harris's father from pop star Janet Jackson, who told The Guardian that she'd heard Kamala is not black, and instead she's Indian, and added
And all this has already come out. I remember all these particular articles here and videos.
That she thought Kamala's father is white. What kind of fraud fabricates a black grandmother in a book just to secure the black vote? The exact same kind of fraud that won the 2008 and 2012 elections. Barack Obama is no more authentic than Kamala, with a murky backstory that's now been revealed as a fabrication of the CIA. Classmates of his 1983 political science class at Columbia University are now admitting the former president did not attend the university at all, despite Obama's official backstory stating that he earned his degree at the prestigious school. Wayne Allen Root, a graduate from that class, says he asked his classmates if they had any memory of Barack, and none of them have a single memory of the future presidents during their 4 years at the Ivy League University.
Hi, this is Wayne Allen Root for Personal Liberty. I just returned from New York, where I attended my 30th Columbia University College reunion. I celebrated with my esteemed classmates, everyone except Barack Obama. As usual, he wasn't there. Not even a video greeting, not a personalized letter, nothing, nowhere to be found. But worse, no one at our 30th reunion has ever met him. The President of the United States is the ghost of Columbia University. Now, I'm certainly no Johnny-come-lately. For 5 years now, since 2007, when it became clear that Obama was running for president, I've been quoted in the media as saying that no one I've ever met at Columbia can remember ever meeting, ever...
And all these people are a joke, because where was this information when he first popped up on the scene? All right. And you know, speaking about whatever he graduated, this, that, and the third. Where were these people then? Okay. So you can see how this all is just a great big orchestration, man. Okay. Even if someone comes out who's actually not a part of this system and they're just speaking, you know, whatever their own mind, it's still like, you know what I'm saying? It still falls in line with everything going on.
ever seeing our college classmate Barack Obama. Don't you think the media should be asking questions? Isn't this a very strange story?
As we know, the mainstream media is deep.
Okay, and see, I wanted to let all that play because I wanted to make the point that because we're not with no voting. All right, I'm just making a point here. We're not with red, blue, conservative, or any other party. All right, we with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Okay, so but yeah, especially dealing with the so-called black people, right? Mainly with the other tribes too, because they go after those Latin tribes, but mainly always starting with Judah. But do you notice what they do? This is what they really truly think of you. All right, they'll take something out of your, we'll just say culture, for lack of better words, something out of your culture, attach it to a particular candidate, and push those things in order to sway you to a particular side. And they did the same thing with Barack Obama, okay? I know they pretended he did. All right, you got rappers making love. Who is it? What's this dude name? Jeezy. I think it was Jeezy that made that one song. Well, my president is black, or something. My money's light green, my Jordan's light gray, and blah blah blah, all that mess. My president is black. All right, and they do this all the time, man. And you see them doing the same thing now. And this dude Barack Obama, okay, here you go, doing what they usually do. These candidates, they're whoever's backing them or whatever, how it works, they'll grab these celebrities. And so you had Obama up on a recent speech, sitting here rapping some Eminem lyrics, because I think Eminem was there, as one, just like Kamala did with who was it, Quavo, and that Meg Thee Stallion chick or whatever. And so it just continues the same thing. All right, they cater to you in a demeaning manner, okay, just to sway you to their side or woo you to their side. All right, they cater to you in a demeaning manner, and a lot of times they use these rappers or celebrity status people to do so. And it's the same thing over and over and over. But our people are not going to wake up. You know why? Because they're looking for a leader in this earth amongst the heathen people, and not the leader coming from the heavens, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, like it says in Isaiah, okay, you seek not the Holy One of Israel. But let's play some more.
Is deeply entangled with the CIA, fully infiltrated and obedient to their every directive. This began with Operation Mockingbird and continues to this day. Conveniently, during his first term in office, Obama signed the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, legalizing the use of propaganda by agencies and the media on the American public. As surprising as this may seem to those unfamiliar, none of this is new information. The deceit has always been out there, hiding in plain sight for those with eyes wide open. Presidents are selected, not elected. And for decades, the CIA connections within the Obama family have been carefully hidden.
Okay, I don't know what's going on the screen. But yeah, that's what the that's what you beginning with the apostles have been telling you, man. Okay, what these people are saying in these meetings at the WHO or at the World Economic Forum or wherever the case may be, they're not just saying these things to be saying them, like just to have some fair speech, okay, with some catchy words. No, man, they're saying these things because that's what they're planning. They're planning on you living in a 15-minute city, okay, or they're planning, you know, to threaten you into the microchip in the system and to cut you off from society if you don't take it. They're planning for you to eat bugs in your food, all right? They're planning you to own nothing and live off of what's the UBI, the Universal Basic Income, okay? They're planning these things for you because this is what they want for the New World Order. This is what they want to push the world into, okay? And they will, okay? They're just not going to get the elect. Know that for a surety. And Lord would be of that number.
Own savings into precious metals, gold and silver. I don't trust the banks, I don't trust governments, and I don't trust big tech with my hard-earned money. Why? Because the handful of people that I do trust to give me financial advice, Max Kaiser for instance, have all said that gold is the best insurance against inflation and the stock market. So I decided to partner up with our sponsor, Colonial Metals Group.
At the end of the day, none of that is going to mean nothing. It doesn't matter if it's silver, doesn't matter if it's gold, doesn't matter if it's paper dollars. If you're not with the digital dollar, it's not going to mean anything. And we're not with the digital dollar, okay? So, you know, as a matter of fact, let me skip
helps me set
sponsor.
Given an exclusive offer. It's 351.
Come on.
Including his stepfather. Like Harris, Obama was groomed and handpicked for his role, complete with a carefully crafted backstory designed to appeal to the sheeple and deceive the masses.
Yeah, as they all are. All these candidates are you know, groomed, okay, and handpicked for a particular task or role or whatever the case may be, okay?
It's all so related. The Barack Obama story follows the Emmanuel Macron story, follows the Kamala Harris story. How are they all growing up with such a similar non-existence? Just a non-existence, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense that this many people who are being put into positions of power have such shady upbringings. It's not that difficult to say, this is my mom and this is my dad, and they raised me in some capacity. Also, remember yesterday when I said that there was virtually no information? They tried to wipe the information that Barack Obama lived for like 8 to 10 years, first 10 years of his life in Indonesia. And then like that one reporter found the one pamphlet that showed that he went by Barry Soetoro. And he also went by Barry Soetoro in college. Like, his name was Barry Soetoro. And there was very little information available about Lolo Soetoro, very few pictures available about Lolo Soetoro, his stepdad. Well, I didn't realize that Judge Joe Brown, man, that judge is coming with the receipts, actually sat down in an interview with Scoon TV and called out Lolo Soetoro. He claims that he was a CIA operative. Take a listen.
Well, there are pictures of Bush with his arm around 8-year-old Barack Obama because his stepdaddy, adopted daddy, Lolo Soetoro, had done a lifetime worth of business with the Bushes. Uncle George Herbert Walker, after whom George Herbert Walker Bush, Bush 1 president, was named, founded Halliburton in 1946 in Oklahoma. And Lolo Soetoro had been international executive vice president for Standard Oil.
There was talk of him being a CIA asset.
Well, yeah, see, he ran the death squads for the Indonesian army. On his own call, anyone could be assassinated. So when George Herbert Walker Bush became head of the CIA under the Ford administration, he just got with his old buddy in the oil business, Lolo Soetoro, and pulled off the hits. See, Barack's grandmother has been acknowledged as being the woman that operated the channels through which CIA money went to the Southwest Pacific. So she introduced her daughter, who had just had Barry, Barack, to Lolo Soetoro, and they got married, and Lolo Soetoro adopted Barack Obama. The name was changed to Barry Soetoro. Now, when he went to high school in Hawaii, I know about that high school. I almost sent my oldest son to it. I could afford it, but I didn't think he deserved it. 20 years ago, the tuition was $95,000 a year, not including room and board. When Obama went there, I've talked to two of his classmates. They independently state that the tuition, not including room and board, was $45,000. Now, Business Insider reports his income for 2017 at over $200 million net. That's after taxes, deductions, write-offs. For this last year, 2018, they reported it as $570+ million. And that's after all deductions, tax, right? Trump doesn't make that net. I mean, even some of the richest people in America don't make that. Why? Because when his stepdaddy died, he was one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. And he left everything in a trust fund operated out of Indonesia, so the American government can't touch it. That makes Barack Obama 1/3 beneficiary for the assets of one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. See, so we got a game run on us. So, you know that little thing that Bush W does when he gets with Michelle, they giggle and he gives.
And once again, I said this before, where was all this information at when it was necessary to hear it? You see, not saying that he's lying, I'm not calling him a liar, just saying where was this information when it was necessary? No, you wait, you know, when this dude was long, you know, passed on, right? From his presidency. See? Where are the facts when the facts are needed?
Of candy, the inside thing, is that supposed to be the same kind of candy he used to give to her husband when he was 6, 7, 8 years old?
Oh, wow.
All I'm saying is that when you hear the truth, it just hits differently, and it's the only thing that makes sense, because we're looking around and we're going, where are these people coming from? Like, it feels like they're just being minted as leaders. I mean, Kamala Harris didn't even win. They just moved Joe Biden aside and said, here you go, vote for Kamala. I mean, that's completely crazy. If this is supposed to be a democracy, right? If we're supposed to be having this system in which any person can be president of the United States, why does it only feel as though people that are deeply connected in a web of politics are the ones that do become?
Because it stems back to the banking families, as we always mention. You hear people always say, oh, the globalists. Well, who the hell are the globalists? Why you never say exactly who they are? We know who they are. Everything stems back to these banking families, man. And they're seeking after their birthright, man. Okay? It goes all the way back each and every time to that birthright, man. Okay? Hebrews 12, verse 16 and 17, man. Scared little baby boy Esau, man, who sold his birthright for a morsel of meat, and afterwards Esau to carefully with tears, man, like a punk. Okay? And it was never meant for him. That's why the Lord had that situation play out the way that it played out back in Genesis. Okay? In the 25th and the 27th chapter. It was not meant for him, the kingdom of heaven, eternal rulership. He's in his rulership now. This is the last rulership of the Gentile nations, man. Jerusalem shall be trodden underfoot until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Okay? It says similar scriptures in other chapters, man, like Revelation chapter 20, man. We mentioned that from time to time, where they came out to deceive the earth. That happened in the Renaissance period. Moving forward now to what we have as America. Okay? Those banking families took the blessing of Genesis, the 27th chapter, hoarded it to themselves. They're living it out, and they're about to unleash their ultimate plan, which is the digital system and the micro CHIPs. And they're going to carry it out expertly, because that's what's given to them on the left-hand side. But they will not get the elect, so they're not going to fully carry it out. They're never going to fully achieve what it is that they're looking for. The Lord says when they're about to fill his belly, all right? Okay? He's going to stop them at some certain point. And that's because of the elect, man, for the elect's sake. Okay? Where their hands will not be able to form their enterprise, which is their new world order. Okay? But let's continue here. We're almost done.
Presidents of the United States.
Barack Obama and Kamala Harris are both phonies with backstories that don't stack up. But they aren't the only ones. Presidents are selected, not elected. And this explains why nearly all presidents in US history, until Trump, were related to each other. And they all descended from a king of England.
On the School Watch tonight, the story of a 7th grader from Salinas who claims to have made a major discovery about President Obama. She and her grandfather say that President Obama is related to all but one U.S. president. We get more tonight from Action News reporter Felix Cortez, who's live in our Salinas newsroom.
Well, Dan, the youngster spent the summer, really all summer, tracing the family tree of our presidents. Her conclusion that all the presidents, with the exception of one, share the same grandfather.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Bridget Dovigneau says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related and descendants of a former king of England.
It's one big sick club, and you don't want to be part of it. Here at The People's Voice, we are determined to continue
So
exposing...
that's the end of that video there, okay? And that's pretty much the end of this various articles here, because there's nothing else, you know, pretty much to say. But we know, as we mentioned, all right, this has all been planned out from the globalists, right? It's all been planned out from the globalists, okay, to achieve their ultimate goal, which is the digital system and the micro C-HIP, because it gives them full autonomy over every aspect of people's lives from a remote location. And it is deeper than buying and selling. And it is not sin, okay? All right, that is not what the Mark of the Beast is talking about. Okay, so, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I want to actually go and look into that last segment there, dealing with the little girl, Bridge, and whatever the name was. I'll look it back up and see if I can find that video. Maybe I'll look at it. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what the Spirit allows. So we'll leave it at that. Lord willing, you edify to next. I'm not sure I'm going to say shalom.